Leonardo di Piero da Vinci, or better known as Leonardo da Vinci (1482 since 1519), was a renowned Italian genius and perhaps a man of immeasurable curiosity and an inventive mind. His multiple talents enabled him to do many things in different fields, including painting, writing, architecture, engineering, geology, anatomy, and botany, among others. Despite his diverse talents, Leonardo is well known for his works in art, particularly painting, whereby he produced some of the most famous paintings such as the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and the Vitruvian Man, among many more. On the other hand, being an illegitimate son of a notary and a peasant woman did little to undermine Leonardo's quest to excel in different fields, which range from painting to science and technology. Arguably, Leonardo was perhaps the greatest mind of the Renaissance era. Background: Youth and early years. Leonardo was born and raised in Italy under the protection of his father and stepmothers. He spent most of his youth working at Verrocchio's workshop and learning the laws of science and nature after he had been informally educated in geometry and mathematics. His stay at Verrocchio's workshop gave him the necessary exposure and experience in painting, which saw him becoming one of painting masters at the age of 20, and he received recognition by the Guild of Estiloque. His greatest works. Some of Leonardo's greatest works to date have been in painting more than in science and technology. One of Leonardo's most famous works include The Last Supper, which was done in the 1490s. The painting captures Jesus' last moment with the 12 disciples, specifically at the moment where he reminded them that one among the disciples would betray him. The other great work by Leonardo is the Mona Lisa, which he painted in the 15th, and it is arguably one of the most famous paintings in the world to date. Apart from painting, Leonardo created several drawings in science and technology, such as the Vitruvian Man and the picture of the fetus in the womb. Leonardo was a genius and a true Renaissance man owing to his extensive talents that extended far beyond painting and drawing. Following in the footsteps of other Renaissance humanists of his time, Leonardo had developed a keen interest in establishing the relationship between art and science. Accordingly, he had varied interests in science and technology, particularly in anatomy, optics, and hydraulics, whereby he came up with some original pieces of inventions. His interest in science and technology had a great influence on Leonardo's paintings and drawings. Leonardo commands admiration and respect from other painters, critics, and fans in equal measure. His fame and reputation increases by the day, especially considering the number of people who travel long distance and pay a lot of money just to have a glimpse at his famous pieces of art. The young generation is also keeping up with the pace by purchasing merchandise that contains Leonardo's most famous paintings and drawings. On the other hand, writers around the globe have written extensively on Leonardo's talent, and his private life is at the center of numerous speculations. Struggles and challenges: attention deficit disorder, ADD, and dyslexia. Many writers have observed that Leonardo was suffering from ADD owing to his inability to finish all the projects that he started. Actually, there are about 50 paintings created by Leonardo, which survive to date, while most of his work produced destroys because of his constant desire to experiment with new painting techniques. This typical symptom of ADD, which causes I want to get distracted so easily. Other writers have noted that Leonardo was dyslexic because he used to write from right to left without being consciously aware.
This town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually. So if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane a masterpiece. Oh my, oh my love. I take one look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down to a dead and buried. On the edge of your knife, staying drunk on your vine. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary.
Renaissance humanists were the major promoters of anti-charge and anti-clerical sentiments during Leonardo's era.
They say the holy water's watered down, this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually. So if our time is
keeping his work private. Leonardo tried to keep his works private using his notebooks, which he wrote in mirror image handwritings. Most people believe that Leonardo preferred the backwards handwriting as a way of ensuring that he maintained it sacredly. However, there are those who view his action as an incursion of left-handedness, whereby an individual writes from right to left without being aware of it. This is a typical feature of most dyslexics who left-handed is not considered as a problem, but a gift. In Leonardo's case, his dyslexic gift was used to conceal details in his pieces of artwork, including sketches, painting ideas, and even scientific inventions. However, after his death, some of Leonardo's private notes have found their way into the hands of third parties. Conclusion: Leonardo da Vinci was the most multi-talented individual to have graced the Renaissance era and even the contemporary society. Leonardo's long-lasting fame and reputation arose from his talents in painting and drawing. He managed to produce several paintings and drawings, which were famous and influential during his time. He was also a true Renaissance humanist, having combined human interest that produced the greatest good for all. His contributions in art and science are also worth mentioning, considering that he was the first to use some of the well-known painting techniques, besides conceiving some of the greatest scientific and engineering inventions of his time. Lastly, Leonardo's attempt to relate art and science earned him the honors of being studied today because his ideas are quite fascinating.
The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. Shining. They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually. So if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane a masterpiece. Oh my, oh my love. I take one look